It was 50 years ago this October that I first met Pauline, and I remain grateful to God for the kind way he took me to Edinburgh at that stage of my life and introduced me to the girl who remains the joy of my life today. But this year, and indeed this very day, marks an anniversary of another and greater encounter. For it was 50 years today that I knew the transforming grace of God in my life that brought me believing to the cross. I was raised in a nominally Christian family, but one where I heard nothing of the gospel of the Lord Jesus. I was sent to Sunday school, but never taken to church. At the age of 11 or so, I became an altar server in the local parish church. But while I knew all the words of the Anglican communion service, I never felt its significance or spiritual relevance to me. By the time I left school, I was a practical atheist, arrogantly convinced that God was irrelevant if he existed at all. If science didn't already have the answer to everything, then it eventually would. The biggest shock for me was when I went to university and met for the first time people who spoke in a very natural and convincing way about having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Science had no explanation for these people. The only credible explanation was the one they gave me. It was the gospel of forgiveness through the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. For 3 years, I learned the truth of the gospel from them, but I never embraced it. For 3 years, they prayed faithfully for me. For 3 years, God was working on me in response to their prayers and in me to bring me to a point of deep need where I knew the only answer for my distress was him. By now I was attending church regularly, but still avoiding the implications of the gospel. The liberal church I'd chosen assuaged my conscience, but didn't introduce me to Jesus Christ. That God did. One evening, 5th of July 1970, 50 years ago today, I was walking home after an hour spent seeking counsel with a local pastor, but finding no peace. But on that walk home, God met me and transformed me. Redemption had now not only been accomplished at the cross, but it had been applied powerfully to my life. I knew now without doubt that I was a Christian. How timely that was. Within 2 months, I started work in Edinburgh, found my way to Charlotte Chapel, and through a friend to Pauline's family. The rest is history, they say. What a road it's been over those 50 years. There have been many good times, many really tough times, many sad times, many disappointments, but far more joys. I'm so grateful to God for the 39 years that we've been part of and blessed by the wonderful fellowship of Upton Baptist Church. As I reflect back, I'm simply overwhelmed with gratitude to God for his grace to me. He's wise, he's kind, he's good, he's strong. But it's his grace, a word that spells out the initials of God's riches at Christ's expense, that is the source of my greatest joy. I want to finish with the words of a hymn that express my thoughts and my feelings, I guess, also as I reflect. A debtor to mercy alone, of covenant mercy I sing, nor fear with thy righteousness on my person and offering to bring. The terrors of law and of God with me can have nothing to do. My Saviour's obedience and blood hide all my transgressions from view. The work which his goodness began, the arm of his strength will complete. His promise is yea and amen, and never was forfeited yet. Things future, nor things that are now, and not all things below nor above, can make him his purpose forego, or sever my soul from his love.